Could you describe your relationship to jazz music, and how do you think the Pioneer Valley shapes that genre of music?
Well, I've had jazz with me in my life for quite a long time, since I was 14 or 15, and played in some jazz groups, mainly in Boston, and so I'm over 50, so it's been doing that for quite a while. And here, when I first moved here about 4 years ago from Boston, it was a little bit of a shock musically. A couple things happened personally. I had a child, so kind of removed myself from normal activity, and so I wasn't really aware of much of a scene here until here and there, like little jams or occasional people playing. But then somebody told me about this jazz jam at the Green Street Cafe, and I checked it out, and I was just blown away. It just was like this fantastic scene where they start out with this really great trio, and they have a special guest every week. I think the first week I came, there was a tap dancer, and it was like, I just spent like 3 or 4 months in Spain, so it was just like, wow, this is so incredible to see that. Now, they haven't had a tap dancer since, but they've had all kinds of just really great, phenomenal musicians from all over. And of course, it gives us players a chance to get up and play a little bit. And as a kind of player who's been dormant for a few years, it was really great. And for me, this is I've got a 3.5-year-old, and this is my big night out, to kind of come and play jazz. So it's really cool, and it's been like this great community that has built, and I kind of joined and welcomed in, and everybody who shows up is welcomed, supportive, no matter what level of player we have. So and Paul just has this vision of what it would be, apparently, and just made this, sheer force of will made it happen. And we were all, I think, kind of devastated when Green Street Cafe, we heard that it was going to close, and we thought, oh man, because for me, it felt like one significant piece of my world was going to stop. And it was, again, Paul, who really took this bull by the horns, lined up some places to try out, and we auditioned the places. And by we, I mean like the audience, the whole group. It wasn't really so much the trio, but they listened to everything we had to say about it. And I think this place was kind of the underdog. The Hotel Northampton was it's a great place, and so we ended up here, which was a little surprise to, I think, a lot of us. And but it's worked out great. They've been so supportive here, and it's a great room for listening. And it's about the community, and this room has a really great sense of community. So I think that's very cool. Yeah.
Yeah, you touched on it a little bit. What did the cafe mean to the? Well, you obviously showed that the cafe meant a lot to the community. Do you think the law will match up to my first date with my wife was at that cafe. Wow. So it meant a lot to me, personally, and meant a lot to us. And so I think, we've always enjoyed it, and having the jazz there, made it even richer, and we were able to come there a lot. And it's like any place you kind of come to, it feels like home after a while.
So yeah, just it had good vibes, and Jim at the Green Street Cafe was so supportive of this project, and he sang a few songs. You could tell his heart was just totally into this music. So anyway.
So do you think the Loft can do that? Will it be able to match up? Will it? So the community. It was a lot more young students who went to the cafe.
Yeah. Well, I was a little surprised, but I'm seeing a lot of students here tonight, and I think it all depends. On there's timing. There's like the students show up in the summer and on break, so it's a little hard until there's a break. And this week, I guess, is a break. So we're seeing some students here, and that's fantastic. There's never going to be another Green Street Cafe, but I think this community can, clearly, this has got to be great for this hotel, and so they must love it, and it will be here, and it'll grow, and the other thing that is, what can't help but happen is that there'll be, out of this community, there'll be, I'm meeting people, and we're going to go and we're going to play in other places, and things will spin off, and that sort of thing always happens, but having like a home base where everybody can come to and kind of check in with each other is a great way to spur it on.
So you kind of started to lead into the last question. I know this the venue has been the change, the move. You kind of mentioned that this is the one place that everybody gets to come together. Do you think that this community would be the same without the audience? Because there's a lot of musicians, and I thought when I came to my first performance, I was like, wow, I was like, am I the only person who doesn't play an instrument here?
There are, well, I'm not sure of your question, but there is a huge audience of people who don't play and just show up, and they're friends, or they've just kind of arrived and loved it. And so Gretchen Bruce, you saw, Bruce kind of stuck his head in here. He plays, I think he plays piano, but I've never heard him play here. So he's just a total fan, and they come here, and they're clearly devoted to the thing. I think the community is obviously not just the players, not just Paul and the band, but the people who listen, and the place. It kind of all, it's like a ecosystem. It all has to gel and happen, and it's hitting on all cylinders. It's really great.
That's great. Well, Don, thank you so much.
All right, thank you. All right, great. Well, good luck to you guys.
Thank you so much.
All right.
And I'll send you an email with the final product.
All right, good one.